Guys, and welcome back again to my channel. In case you're new here, my name is Anekan and I am a 200 level medical student studying in Nigeria. I make lifestyle content and jam related content like jam tips. I have a jam playlist on my channel, guys. Hello guys, welcome back again. This is a continuation. Please, if you have not watched the first part, I'll advise you to watch that first before watching this so you can understand what is going on here. Next thing I'll advise you to do is to be brutally honest with yourself. If you have not been reading, I'm telling you, you have to sit down and ask yourself how many amount of hours do I have in a day. Be honest. If you go to work, like, have a rough estimate and how can you maximize this time. So if you're going to be writing jam these 2 weeks, I'll advise you to maximize your time. If you know that you have 5 hours in the day which is really free for you, try to get yourself prepared for those 5 hours. Keep all the books, know what you should be doing at every point in time. I'm telling you the truth, you cannot sit on your reading table and you don't have idea of the subject you're supposed to study, how long you're supposed to study that subject. What are you going to do? Are you going to start with past questions first? Are you going to review the past question? You should have plans because you cannot get on the table and you'll be confused. There are some times that I haven't done anything, not because I don't want to do something, but just because I don't know what to do. So these 2 weeks, you should have it all planned out, all scheduled, that every day of these 2 weeks, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And by the time I'm on this day, I should have completed this amount of work. So this leads me to scheduling. You have to have a timetable, a plan, like a solid plan. If you have not been reading for jam these 2 weeks, you should have a solid plan on what you're supposed to be doing every day. You're going to be depriving yourself of a lot of things, and it's totally fine. I mean, what is there? Just deprive yourself of those things within 2 weeks and pass this exam. Then you can continue with whatever you want to do. But you have to be focused. Like, you have to fine-tune your mindset too into understanding, okay, this is what I have to do. I'm ready to do everything I can do just to get this. So I'll advise you to have a plan. Mondays, I'm supposed to be doing chemistry past questions. And like I said, every day of these 2 weeks, you should be doing past questions, all your past questions every day. And it's from those past questions you can, review and know what you don't know and go to your textbook, read quickly, come back again. Try as much as you can to really maximize it. And if you cannot read on a stretch, I want you to be taking breaks. Like, read at the end of every hour or every 30 minutes, you're taking a break. What I used to even do, like, even if you're tired and you don't want to read anything, maybe you can just watch a video of what you are meant to read next. Just like find a way around it. Like, if you're really exhausted and you don't want to read anymore, go on YouTube. There are a lot of videos on YouTube. There are a lot of things. Don't wait for someone to tell you what to do. Like, go on YouTube, search that topic, watch it. You have completed that topic, whether or not you read it, you have completed it. So that is how I advise you to, like, move. Like, move with the lightning of speed and stay focused. Another thing is your mindset. If you've been reading before, there is nothing that stops you from getting above 300. But if you have not been reading before, not that I'm saying that 300 is not possible. 300 is very, very possible. But I would also advise you to be, like, very strict with yourself in terms of the amount of hours you're reading, in terms of normally I used to say if you have enough time, you should be flexible. But at this point, you have to be very rigid, like very hard grain rigid and disciplined. If not, it's very easy for you to become deterred, to start playing, to forget the main goal. So I'll advise you to, at least for these 2 weeks, be strict with a plan. This is not time for you to do trial and error. This is not time. This is not the time. They expected you to know everything you need to know about your reading pattern by now. So these 2 weeks, I'll advise you to be very strict and rigid with your plan and try your hardest to, like, have the discipline to finish it. So another helpful tip I'll advise you to do is to be don't compare yourself. Avoid comparisons from or just don't do it. It doesn't really help. Especially don't compare your level 1 to somebody's level 100. Like, these people, sometimes maybe your friends have been reading since the beginning of the term and you just came and you're already comparing yourself to up there. No. Like, know what you have to do and keep doing it. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't talk to them. Oh. In fact, leverage on your friends. This is another tip. Instead of you comparing, I want you to leverage on your friends. Like, be very smart. If you know your friends are reading for this jam exam too and they have been reading ever since, have discussions with them, especially if they are taking the same subject as you. You're taking biology with me. I'm going to ask you questions, a lot of questions. Okay, you have that's why I asked you to have a plan. If you have a plan, you know that these are the topics I'm able to complete within these 2 weeks, and these are the ones that I don't think I'll be able to complete within these 2 weeks. Okay, Chike, Michael, tell me, what have you read? What have you read on these other topics that I won't be able to complete? In 1 hour, they would have told you a lot of things about the topics you won't be able to complete. You can ask them, okay, what are some of the likely questions that the JAM people usually ask from these topics I won't be able to complete? And they will tell you. So whether or not you like it or not, you have covered that topic. Like, JAM is very easy, although it is very risky because JAM always go in between lines to ask their questions. But this technique is very, very effective, especially when it comes to waec. Waec, especially when it's theory-based exams, because you just have to write what they told you. And this one will also help in picking options because you can now narrow it down to what Samuel and Chike told you, or whoever your friends are told you. So guys, those are some of the tips that I will advise you to do. Let me check my tablet whether I have some information that I haven't answered. Yes, I want you to also use the right textbook. At this point in time, you cannot afford to be using the wrong textbook because it is very risky. It's like you're wasting your energy, your time, your resources. So I advise you to use the right textbooks. I've said a couple of times that I discovered that LamLad is also tailored to JAM, so you can get the LamLad series and focus on it. This is the information that I got after writing my exam. It really pisses me up to today. So there's essential, there's explicit biology. There are a lot of textbooks. I used essential. I used PNOKK. That was the author of the physics one. I cannot remember. New School Physics too is very good. So yeah, it depends on what you want. But I advise you to use textbooks like LamLad because I was able to like swipe through or see how LamLad looks, and I found that it's really tailored to JAM. You should be using LamLad because it is very tailored to JAM. This video is not sponsored. I'm just being honest with you guys. So another thing that I advise you to do is read the JAM novel. Yes, for English language. Please, that novel is not for fashion. Read the JAM novel, even if it's 5 questions that will come out from there. That is 5 marks, 5 easy marks. So read that JAM novel. If you're a fast reader, you can push it to like 2 days before the exam before you read it. Or you can, even if you're a slow reader, 3 days before the exam, it's possible for you to finish it within 3 days now before the exam. Why I'm saying you should push it to before the exam is because the characters are still fresh, you still remember their names, and the book doesn't look huge. Back then we read Independence. Independence is bigger. I read Independence in 2018. Then in 2019, I think they changed the novel to Life. Oh, no, Sweet 16. Yes, Sweet 16. Then this you guys set is now Life Changer. I read Independence the first time I wrote Jam. I hated it because the book was good. The first part was interesting, but the second part was not now interesting, and the book was now heavy information, like too much information. Then after that, Sweet 16 was beautiful because it was very short, and I don't really lengthy novels. Sometimes they take me forever to read. So this novel, Life Changer, I've seen it is very short, so I advise you to like read the novels, know the characters, who said what and to whom, and know the tone. They will not even ask you tone or any of those things, but just know the what each character said and to whom, maybe the state of mind of the character at that point. Like, just have ideas of it. That's why I'm asking you guys to push it to 3 days before the exam so that the characters and everything will still be fresh in their mind, and you'll not just be telling me stories that you have read for a long time ago and filling the gap. So even if you have read it before, read it again at least before the exam. So another thing I'm going to say is that you should pray to God to help you, your spiritual life. God can still help you. Honestly, I'm a very spiritual person. I would say I'm a spiritual person. I'm working on it. I'm still developing. I'm not there yet. But I still believe in God's power. So I'll advise you to trust God in this journey. Pray to Him and ask Him to help you, because He sees the effort of every man and He crowns it all. So guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, like, I don't know what you are doing, no, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Please leave a comment down below of the next video you want me to make, and ask your questions. Like, leave questions on my YouTube channel. I am here for you guys. Immediately I see it, I'm answering. Okay guys, until next time, bye.